Lecture 23, The Priest Kings, the Hidden Hand. Manifestations, Influence, and RP Integration. A lecture by Sardar Thorn. Part 1, Opening. Masters, mistresses, free men and free women, Kajare and Kajariye, I greet you. You know me. Sardar Thorn, 43 years a Gorian, once a publisher, always an explorer. And today I speak about the priest kings, not the initiates, not the white caste, not the pretenders in their temples, the real priest kings. The insectoid beings beneath the Sardar Mountains, the masters of Gor, the hidden hand that has guided and manipulated human civilization for thousands of years. Most Gorians worship them as gods. The initiates claim to speak for them, but only a handful of humans have ever seen them. Only a handful know the truth, and the truth is terrifying. The priest kings are not benevolent. They are not cruel, not in the way humans understand cruelty. They are pragmatic. They care about the nest. They care about the balance. They care about the curiae. They do not care about human lives except as tools to achieve their goals. This lecture will not be comfortable. It will challenge what you think you know about the hidden masters of Gor. The circle is open. Part 2, What the Books Say, the Foundation. Before I share my theory, let me remind you of what is canon. Appearance and biology. Priest kings resemble huge golden insects, nearly 18 feet tall, 6 legs, compound eyes. They have 2 large antennae, their primary senses. They cannot tolerate the sun, they live underground. Their blood is greenish fluid. They can regenerate lost limbs. The nest. The nest is the lair of the priest kings beneath the Sardar Mountains. The mother is the only female unwinged with a huge abdomen. The high priest kings are the first 5 born to the mother. Misk, the 5th born, is over 2 million years old. Humans in the nest are called mulls, all are slaves. Technology. The priest kings possess technology greater than that of the curiae. They discovered the secret of cell replacement without deterioration, true immortality unless killed. They have brain scanners that can record memories on metal plates. They have surveillance devices, silver tubes, floating orbs. They have the flame death, a disintegration beam that punishes technology violators. The Nest War, Book 3, Priest Kings of Gore. Taro Cabot travels to the Sardar and discovers the Priest Kings. A civil war erupts among them, Sarm against Misk. Much of the Priest King's surveillance and enforcement technology is destroyed. They explicitly state that many systems cannot be rebuilt. Knowledge was lost in the war. The Curii smuggle weapons into R, Book 5, Assassin of Gore. Tarl sees a black Curii ship outside R, unloading large boxes from Earth. Among the contraband is a sniper rifle, completely illegal on Gore. The Curii are actively taking advantage of the Priest King's weakened state. The war between R and Kas. The war begins. The cause is never fully explained. There are confusing betrayals, secret plots, double agents on both sides. The war feels manipulated, but by whom? The aftermath. R is in ruins. Many areas are burned or leveled. Curii influence in the region is drastically reduced. The Earth tech disappears. These are the facts. Now let me tell you what they mean. Part 3, The Hidden Hand, the Theory. After the devastation of the Nest War, the once omnipotent Priest Kings found themselves gravely weakened. Their surveillance systems, which had for millennia enforced strict control over the technological ceiling on Gore, were now largely destroyed. For the first time, human cities could break the Priest King laws without instant retribution. The Curii exploited this gap. They smuggled Earth-made weapons into R, sniper rifles, explosives, electronics, hidden in sealed crates beneath false merchant cargo. The Priest Kings could not act directly. Still reeling from their civil war, they lacked the means to surgically eliminate these caches. They could not openly interfere, not without risking further damage. But they retained one ancient skill, manipulation. So they nudged a war into motion, step by step. 1. Intelligence from allies like Tarl Cabot confirmed the presence of illegal tech in R. 2. Using subtle techniques, dream suggestions, psychic nudges, engineered betrayals, they fanned tensions between R and its longtime rival. Kas 3 propaganda was seeded. A false flag operation gave R just the excuse it needed for aggression. For the war ravaged R. The warehouses holding Curii weapons were among the first to fall, targeted by coincidental air raids. 5. In the chaos, Priest King agents quietly moved in to destroy remaining tech, disguised as refugees, mercenaries, or slaves. The aftermath. R survived but weakened. Kas was bloodied and did not gain true victory. The Curii lost a major foothold in the south. And most importantly, the Earth weapons vanished, destroyed under the smoke of war. To the people of Gore, the war was another petty power struggle. But to the few who know the truth, it was a surgical purge, orchestrated by insectoid minds watching from the ruins of the Sardar. Part 4, The Technology Laws of the Priest Kings. To understand the Priest Kings, you must understand their laws. There is at least one area, however, said my father, where the Priest Kings do take a most active interest in this world, and that is the area of technology. They limit, selectively, the technology available to us, the men below the mountains. For example, incredibly enough, weapon technology is controlled to the point where the most powerful devices of war are the crossbow and lance. Tarnsmen of Gore, Chapter 2. The Priest Kings forbid rifles and advanced firearms, mechanized transportation, communication equipment, radios, etc., detection devices, radar, sonar. Armor chain mail is forbidden. any technology that could threaten them or accelerate human development beyond their control. The punishment, the flame death. From time to time they are produced, but their owners are then destroyed, bursting into flame. It is flame death merely to possess a weapon of the interdicted sort. Tarnsman of Gore, Chapter 2. The purpose of the laws. On such a planet, he said, presumably the dominant life forms would supervise, to some extent, the technology of human beings. They would not wish, for example, to allow human beings to develop a weaponry which might threaten them. Prize of Gore, Chapter 4. These laws are the foundation of the Priest King's control, but after the Nest War, their ability to enforce these laws was severely weakened. Part 5. The weakened surveillance after the Nest War. After the Nest War, the Priest Kings were weakened. Their technology did not fully recover. What was destroyed? Much of their sensor network, including devices tuned to human brain waves. Cameras and microphones hidden behind energy bulbs. The ships and orbs that monitored the surface of Gore. The databases with knowledge of how to repair or replace this technology. What no longer works? Seamless surveillance of the cities. Instant detection of technology violators. Widespread control over the exchange of knowledge. What cannot be replaced? The Priest Kings admit fear of lost knowledge, and even dependence on allies like Taro Cabot to handle threats. The Priest Kings themselves say, some of what was destroyed cannot be rebuilt. The knowledge is lost. The consequence. Priest King surveillance is now porous. A Curii agent can smuggle Earth technology if they are careful. An inventor can build a new machine if they do not show it openly. A scribe can spread forbidden knowledge if they are discreet. Not every violator is caught. Not every violation is punished. The Priest Kings must prioritize. This means more work for others. Part 6. More work for the White Caste. The White Caste, the initiates, are the Priest Kings' human representatives. They are responsible for guiding the spiritual life of Gorians through their rituals and prayers to the Priest Kings. Some are rumored to have the ability to call down the wrath of the Priest Kings, or the dreaded flame death, upon those who commit blasphemous acts. After the Nest War, the initiates are more needed than ever. They must interpret the will of the Priest Kings without clear instructions. They must identify technology violators without widespread surveillance. They must keep the people in check without constant divine intervention. Practical consequences for roleplay. An initiate might lead an investigation to track down a Curii agent. An initiate might give a sermon that subtly warns against a new technology. An initiate might punish a sinner through earthly means, not the flame death. The White Caste is not just the voice of the Priest Kings. They are now their eyes and ears as well. Part 7. More work for human agents. The human agents of the Priest Kings, like Taro Cabot, like Capris the accountant, have always been important. After the Nest War, they are indispensable. The Priest Kings, aware of their limits, rely on human agents like Taro to monitor or disrupt Curii influence. What human agents do? They watch suspicious activities in the cities. They infiltrate Curii organizations. They report to the Priest Kings what technology can no longer see. They act in the Priest King's name, sometimes without knowing it. Practical consequences for roleplay. A scribe might be a secret agent of the Priest Kings. A merchant might gather information for the unseen masters in the Sardar. A warrior might receive a mission, not from his U-bar, but from the Priest Kings themselves. Taro Cabot is the most famous example. He was brought to Gore by the priest kings to change the world and did so again and again. Part 8. Technology without punishment. The weakened surveillance has another consequence. Some technology violators get away with it. Examples of undetected violations. A smith who creates a new owl, stronger, lighter, better, might go unnoticed, as long as he does not boast. An inventor who builds a simple machine, not forbidden, but close to the line, might be lucky. A merchant who acquires an earth device, a radio, a flashlight, a simple tool, might hide it. The danger. The priest kings are not omniscient, but when they catch a violator, the punishment is absolute. The so-called flame death is used by the priest kings to punish technology violators. A blue flame disintegrates the person. There is no escape. Practical consequences for roleplay. A player might own a forbidden, desirable object and feel the fear of discovery. A player might be a smuggler, bringing Earth technology to Gore. A player might be an inventor, walking the line between what is allowed and what is not. This is not a free pass. This is a risk, and risks make roleplay interesting. Part 9. Manifestations, how the priest kings appear in RP. You should not play a priest king as a regular avatar walking through the streets of R, but you can manifest their presence through subtle, eerie, memorable events. The surveillance orb. A floating sphere of silver or gold about the size of a fist. It hovers at the edge of a scene, watching, listening. When someone approaches, it silently retreats or vanishes. RP use. A player notices the orb. What does it want? Is it watching them? Who sent it? The orb never speaks. It never attacks. It simply observes. The silver tube. A small metallic cylinder left anonymously on a table, a desk, a windowsill. When touched, it projects a faint image, a symbol, a warning, a cryptic message. Then it crumbles to dust. RP use. A character receives a warning from the priest kings. What does the message mean? Who was it meant for? Why now? The dream. A character wakes up with a vivid memory, a golden light, a whispering voice, a command they did not choose. They cannot prove it happened. They cannot reproduce it, but they know. RP use. A player has a new goal given by the priest kings themselves. Do they obey? Do they resist? Do they tell anyone? The flame death, rare, very rare. A distant flash of blue fire on the horizon. The next day, word spreads. A merchant who was smuggling earth weapons has been erased. Nothing left. RP use. The priest kings enforce their laws not through courts, not through arguments, but through annihilation. The Sardar Pilgrimage, rare, event-based. A group of pilgrims travels to the Sardar Mountains. They do not see the priest kings, but they feel them. Some pilgrims return changed, haunted, blessed, or broken. RP use. This is an event for a sim. Players travel to the Sardar. The priest kings do not appear, but their presence is unmistakable. Part 10. What this means for roleplay. For the White Caste. They are not just preachers, they are investigators. They must interpret the will of the priest kings, without clear instructions. They can make mistakes, and the priest kings do not always correct them. For human agents. They are the eyes and ears of the priest kings. They work in secret, often without others knowing. They are replaceable. The priest kings have many agents. For potential violators. Surveillance is not perfect. But if you are caught, you are dead. The risk is real, and that makes it exciting. For all players. The priest kings are not all-powerful. Their power has limits, and those limits are greater now than before. The world of Gore is more dangerous, not because of swords, but because of uncertainty. Part 11. Closing the circle. I have spoken. Now I ask, have you felt the priest kings today? You may not have seen them, but they have seen you. A surveillance orb in the corner of the tavern, a silver tube on your desk, a dream you cannot explain. They are not gods, they are not monsters, they are shepherds and you are the flock. They do not love you, they do not hate you, they manage you. The nest war weakened them, their surveillance is porous. The white caste and human agents must fill the gaps, and some violators get away with it if they are careful. The priest kings are not a distant myth. They are a tool for storytelling, subtle, powerful, and deeply Gorian. Use them wisely. The circle is yours.